Welcome back to Pisces TV with Dr. MB. Let's get started with your reading. We have our pick a card here. And let's see. For group 1, you have the Drowned King. For group 2, the Androgyne. And group 3, Sap of the Moon Planet. I'll give you a moment to make your selections, and we'll get started with the reading. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to get started with group 1. All right, group 1, your cards are as follows. We have the Dead End and the Bardo that came out together. Interesting. And I'm noticing that they both have, the Roman numeral L there, where one is, the X is usually an ending with a new beginning. So the Bardo is also giving me like that transformative energy. So that's pretty cool. And you got the Queen of Cups with the crocodile. So the King with the Queen. Let's talk about it. The Drowned King. It's a beautiful card. I love the gold flakes in the water because I know the gold for the alchemist is a good thing. And it floating around in water could symbolize consciousness. With the Queen of Cups here, it could also talk about the subconscious energy. And something to watch because she's looking at him. I also know that the crocodile could also talk about not moving because that's how they get their prey. They're really stiff. They're really still until it's time to go. You know what I'm saying? So this particular card though, we'll start with talks about an ego collapse, losing face and humility, the power of benevolence. In alchemy, the archetype of the king is often used as the symbol for the ego, the aspect of the self that is attached to its title, name, and identity. It is said that the Drowned King is a required phase in the process of transformation. Only through dissolving who they thought they were is the king able to become who they are destined to be, a kind and benevolent leader. How does the drowning occur? Not voluntarily, that's for certain. Through circumstances beyond the control, the king is brought to their bottom, to their knees, and when this card appears, expect a huge blow to the ego. Now mind, this could be for you, someone in the environment, but it's impactful enough that it causes one to turn their life around. Prioritizing grace over greed and benevolence over brutality. Serenity over selfishness. The Drowned King eventually resurfaces as a fully charged, benevolent king. I love that. Yes, I do. And with the Dead End here, it gives me like Kind of like that Ten of Wands energy, just a little bit. Which talks about the great work is in the transformation, or could come through it. Maybe moving on from something, because the alligator shows the stuckness. There may be something in the ego, which is physical, but there's also something in the subconscious with the Queen. And it could even talk about our approach to take to this transformation, just depending on who you are. Because someone who's going through a transformation, where the outcome or the silver lining is humility, then they would take the approach of the Queen, whether you're a male or female. And this sitting still, kind of watching, may be necessary for someone who does a lot, and in a situation of transformation where it feels like there's just nothing you could do. Humility and grace, I will say from a personal perspective, will at least keep you sane. Not gonna kid you, because your ego will have you tripping up a wall. Now the dead end talks about the closed door, the final chapter. Acceptance, humility, relief, reverence for change, stuckness, tension, or unconscious gripping. And she's not gripping, but it does talk about the subconscious energy possibly. Contrary to what its name implies, the dead end is very much alive. It is a force that stops us from moving forward as planned. It is thick, dense, uncompromising. It's a wall beyond all walls with every bramble, thorn, and stone. It simply states, no more. You have reached the last page of this chapter. It is natural to resist its very resistance and struggle even harder to make our way, to prove our point, to hold on to what is or what was. In this way, we fight with life itself. From a mythic perspective, the end you face is very much a beginning. And that's what I felt, because I was like, tens are about beginnings and endings. And then you have a transformation after something ends. So it couldn't just be like closed, locked door, shut forever. That's it. So that's amazing. Now the Bardo talks about the liminal, the in-between, and the transition. So a door closed, things heavy, we moving on, whatever the case. And then here's this in-between transitional kind of phase. But there's grace, there's forgiveness, and there's truth in this card. Without that, it talks about torment, dislocation, hallucinations, and all kind of stuff. Kind of like resisting. This card now is sounding even more so like resisting an awakening. Or, like I said, that ego just driving us up a wall during certain situations. It is said that the Bardo is a place between this life and the next, a liminal realm through which souls pass. Envisioning this inherently mysterious space creates the potential for us to rise above the concerns of this world and see our relationships through a cosmic and timeless lens. You may receive messages from those who are no longer with us, or see visions of life not yet lived. In the Bardo, there is potential for forgiveness and the unforgivable, to say the unsaid, to see the unseen, to love the unloved, to let go of all the things that cause us pain. The Bardo suspends us in its spaciousness for just long enough to open us to higher wisdom. Its energy does not belong to Earth as we know it, but rather the cosmic network of which we are a single thread. So for some of you, or at least one of you, this does include possibly being emotionally overwhelmed and just not being able to shake it, and for a reason, again, outside of your control for some. So definitely understand that, and I send my love and my light I feel that the Queen of Cups is here to represent the subconscious energy. And as a clarifier to the subconscious energy, we have the crocodile. The crocodile has thick skin. I tell you that. And that skin may be because of its environment, like everybody else on the planet, kind of like what it takes for us to survive and what our environments are could have an effect on who we are, what we become, what we look like, what we do, and how we go about things. So let's see here. Resting, submerging, collecting energy, and cooling off. The crocodile reminds us to step back from the external world and turn inward. Now is not the time for decisions, actions, or discussions. The crocodile mantra is wait. This doesn't mean lying around hoping life's challenges will disappear. The crocodile is much smarter than that. It means intentionally withdrawing, gathering our awareness, observing, and building energy. Fill up the vital resources so your next move comes from a place of wisdom and power. When in balance, it talks about wise, patient, a silent powerhouse. But when out of balance, it talks about feeling stuck and or lashing out. So to get it back into balance, rest. I love that for you, group 1. I'll give you a moment to let that soak in. And we are going to start with group 2. Group 2, you're up with the androgen or gin, whichever one. I'll Google it, how to pronounce it. You also have the gem, agape, the Son of Wands, and the sea serpent. That's a collective mixtures of energy. The gem is definitely a diamond in an unusual place. With love all around it. Even if you don't see it. It talks about rewards, your awareness. When I see this card and I look at what appears to be 6 lights, like 6 wands, and then the lines from the creator of this deck resemble her tarot cards, which is like the 10 cups. So it just talks about a network of some sort. There could be more support, a heightened awareness, a higher vibration, more energy. Maybe containing the emotions, because I see the water's not coming out of this circle. It's like the serpent has it under control. But we'll take a look at what the book has for you. I love the 2 birds and the blue rose, because I noticed a lot of flowers. Well, not a lot, but more than usual. For this particular reading, so that was cool. This is the artist, okay? A creative transcendence. This is a deeply revered image in alchemy, born of Hermes and Aphrodite. Yum. It has been classically depicted as a balanced union of divine masculine, the sun, and divine feminine, the moon. Yet today's alchemist knows this by a far more nuanced kind of thing, which is it encompasses the infinite spectrum and reveals itself in ever-changing non-binary forms. The divine hermaphrodite defies definition, as it is a deeply personal, felt experience. Access in this fluid and enlightened state requires us to sip into the contradictory realm of the senses. Breath by breath, we are drawn in our own limbs, fluids, organs, and cells. We let go of rules and labels. Judgment is suspended. The gods are present as the creative mysteries of the underworld. They are also. So this gives like underworld vibe. This gives that divine energy. And it's just showing how both, like this card said, suspend judgment. So you can't go wrong in this moment. And for a brief moment, we hold all of our complexities in one loving form. See, look at that loving form. Like a newborn. We know not our name, gender, age, or location. We are the embodied artist, embraced unconditionally by the sun and the moon. So this talks about the eclipse possibly, or what that means, okay? Because not all of you may resonate with non-binary or divinity. We get that, okay? However, make a list of your contributions. Start with sometimes I'm blank and sometimes I'm blank. Keep writing quickly until you feel the inclusive power of this archetype awaking. Though an alchemical image of completion, the androgen makes a beginner of all of us. Regardless of gender, orientation, and sexual preference, allow yourself to know nothing today. Okay. Allow yourself to know nothing today, baby. Yeah, that's necessary. And I'm just giving like commentary to, in alchemy or becoming your highest self, source said, spirit said what it said, the card said what it said. Just to speak, I guess, from a common ground, when we are aiming to be our true selves, there has to be like a release of things that we're taught, like social norms. And I'm not talking about sexuality. I'm talking about religious beliefs, financial beliefs, socioeconomic issues, a lot of different things. Because it's like, is that you, or is that just what you were taught was normal? So there's a part of a lot of processes for individuals that are working toward some level of mastery on a spiritual level, and a level of mastery in anything, because you just have to really know yourself to get your energy right. If there's anything that isn't in authenticity, that could hinder your frequency. So somebody aiming to be my best self or connect to source the closest I can, yada da da da, you have to be brutally honest with yourself and source. That's for all of us. Nobody's exempt. And from my personal experience with God, the Holy Spirit, my higher self, there, or it's in you or near you, you can't lie to it. It ain't like your parent. You can't, that ain't gonna work. So that's why it's necessary to obtain certain levels of accomplishment. Now, you have the gem, okay? This is the diamond, the gold, the inner treasure. There are infinite names for the gem. It is also known as the jewel. So this is kind of like the star. Oh my God. While this talked about divinity, you know the star is literally a divine being. Hello? This is like the star in tarot. The talent, the gift, the goal, one thing for certain is that it is found deep within a substance that is very much unlike it. For example, a diamond in the rough. The gem always stands in contrast to its surroundings. Oh my God, is that why you kind of like question some things about you? It's not see, this is one of those situations. It's not you. It's just life, right? Oh my God, it's so cute. You can't find it when you're among comforts and pleasantries. Precious stones develop slowly deep in the earth, amid pressure and darkness. Discovering the gem requires a descent beneath the surface where there is no definitive map. See here, there's like no definition. Here's no definition. And this card is specifically about unconditional love. So even if this isn't about you, it is just saying that you have the spark of light in your environment, because this is the spark in motion. And that's very interesting. We'll get to that. But anyway, yet the longing to touch the true gem within us is so strong that we cannot help but seek out its radiance. Your gem, like your destiny, is unlike any other in the entire world. Keep digging. Okay? Keep digging. It talks about unique, shining, generative, and irreplaceable. But when in dark, gripping, grasping, greed, and envy. So just be mindful of that. That could be the challenge. All right. Now we have agape. I used to always say agape, don't laugh. This is devotion and unconditional love. What if, instead of putting yourself at the center of your spiritual practice, you put God, Goddess, or nature at the center? How would this change your approach? Such is the energy of agape. It is alive when we are in awe and wonder, our breath taken away by the sacred force that surrounds us, and ask for nothing in return. This card can indicate a spiritual initiation that stretches your capacity to love and serve. You sense the earthly as the heavenly, and vice versa. Such an initiatory moment can appear in any form and like a healing balm to the modern soul. Its effects last a lifetime. The agape card may also suggest you reassess what you worship every day, consciously or unconsciously. What are you elevating? Where does the sacred ladder you climb ultimately lead to? And then that's like this one and that one, that's 7 wands. So it talks about a test. You could be tested in your environment or feel that way. There's an adventure, there's a journey, and it's an invitation into an initiation of something. And let's see what our sea serpent has to offer here. But yeah, the Knight of Wands is passionate. And when we talk about starseeds, the Knight of Wands energy is connected to the Andromedans. So maybe that's what Spirit was trying to get me to think about, the androgyns. And this could even be like a special coded message from your star collective in this reading that totally wasn't for that. But I'll take it because that's interesting. It's also Sagittarius energy. All right. And then the sea serpent is actually one of the spirit cards. So this is a big deal. I don't think no one has gotten a spirit card yet. Healing emotional wounds and expressing desire. See what I'm saying? Let me just stop. Healing emotional wounds and expressing desire. I just read that and could sense how that could be difficult. If there are emotional wounds that could be tied to intimate relationships or just life in general, and then expressing desire, yikes. Because what if sometimes desire and those emotional wounds have a connection, and to have one is to have the other one? Oh my gosh, I could definitely understand that. The sea serpent represents the energy of expression, whether it's emotions, creativity, sensuality, or desire. The sea serpent helps us move and direct our energy into a healthy current. When the essence of this card is in balance, we express ourselves creatively and sexually without fear or shame. We know what we desire most. Our hearts are at ease and our relationships are meaningful and enduring. We loosen the grip of self-judgment and we let the cool waters of forgiveness in to heal our wounds. When the energy of the sea serpent is not yet activated, our emotions and creativity are left in the muddy waters. The current of expression stagnates in some areas of our lives, and in other places it floods. It's important to remember, no matter what the waters of our emotional lives look like, the sea serpent loves us just the same. Like a mother, she wraps herself around us. I love that. In a gesture of protection, she supports us as we learn to express our true nature. And you ain't gonna believe this. The star. Baby, spirit don't be playing, because I was like, where is we going? But we went wherever somebody needed us to go, and I appreciate that. So I'm going to give you guys a moment, and we will start with group 3. Group 3, it's your turn. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. And I'll be honest, okay, when I saw the sea card, I was like, oh, that's one of my favorite cards. And then when I saw the warrior, I saw the jewel or the diamond, the whatever, the earring, whatever, child, on his face, his forehead, his third eye, something like that. And I thought about Rihanna's song, Love on the Brain. And I was just singing it. And as I kept shuffling you guys' cards out, the 2 of Cups came out. And I was like, I knew it. That was the first song I sung tonight, like shuffling you guys' cards. So thank you for that, because I love that song. I love Rihanna. So maybe, all right, or not a, okay, because we bougie, we fancy, so we say stuff extra wrong for no reason. We are going to start with the sap of the moon plant, which is very beautiful, because just imagine a plant growing on the moon with some sort of sap, like nectar dripping from it, right? Super cool. Okay, and it would be hard to find as well. So this is nocturnal, sacred water of the unconscious. This is an ancient substance said to be born of water, plant, and moonlight. This elixir develops in the depths of night and is thus a metaphor for the wellspring of the unconscious. When this alchemical magic is afoot, it's all about dreams. The answers you are seeking will not come from the intellect nor the opinion of others. It will surface from the depths as if rising from the ancient waters of your memory. The work is to rest, restore, and awaken your celestial senses. Do this by pausing, by releasing your grip. The sap of the moon plant signifies you are in the deep territory of destiny and the imagination. This is a mythic moment. The dream is awaiting to show itself, but awaits your sincere invitation. Ask and risk. All will be revealed. Ooh, group 3. All will be revealed. Sources like, y'all special. Chill. Because this ain't that. And whatever that is, it's going to be. Because it's destiny, not fate. Because fate can sometimes... I don't even want to start with fate. It's cool. I respect it. But I feel that humans have a little bit more of a hand. And it's like the tag team with human and God, or human and higher self, whatever you're into, when it comes to destiny. Destiny means there was some input from you. fate is it was written, which is also dope if it's favorable, right? So next you guys have the seed, which talks about the beginning. Oh my God, the origin and the pearl. Beginnings come in many forms. They are not always a beautiful seed placed intentionally in nourishing soil or soil. Origins start like any birth story, or sometimes complex, surprising, multi-layered, and usually reveal a central image or detail that represents the fully formed being. Simply stated, the end is present in the beginning, or the entire oak tree resides within the acorn. Whether you follow this imaginary theory or not, know that when this card appears, there is potent, generative energy all around. It stirs your very insides and usually results in an antsy, impatient feeling. Pay particular attention to what agitates you, as it is a sure sign of growth to come. You are bumping up against a growth edge. It is from the grip that the pearl eventually becomes to be. Oh my God, I just learned something from that. That card slick just kind of said it could be the things that we allow to agitate us are the things that we manifest into life to grow from, because if it didn't agitate us, it wouldn't come out to be some lesson to learn. And if we was just like, okay, either way it's cool, I accept it, or it'll be alright, then there's no lesson coming up or some situation we're gonna go from. So I'm gonna keep that in my back pocket. Thank you, group 3. That's super cool. So before I get agitated, I'm gonna try not to. How about that? Alright, let's see what we got here. The next card we have is the Warrior. The Warrior is number 10. And I love 10s. 19 and 1. And like I said, when he came out, or it came out with the emblem on its forehead, I was just like, oh, love on the brain and Sade. Okay, something happened here. There we go. Love on the brain, Rihanna, or Soldier of Love, Sade. Yep, because that's like the warrior energy. So this has, the tower, the thunderbolt, the sword, the truth, but it also has peace and protection. So I love that. This one states that this is a soldier or an advocate of some sort. I like that too. A soldier or an advocate. We often envision the warrior as an armored figure with a sword in hand, moving blindly toward battle. Yet the deeper aspect of this archetype brings us face to face with death itself. The warrior stands precariously at the edge of life and death, trusting the eternal to guide the sword blade. The warrior's work requires presence, alignment, and purpose. If and when the warrior loses its center, meaningless confrontation and violence are their default response. When this card appears, it is important to question the battle at hand. It is likely a great one with deep roots and a long-standing tension. The actions you take will stay with you longer after the dust settles, so choose wisely, brave one. As you draw your sword, realign with the eternal wisdom within. The surrender to the battle. Man, I'm telling you, that's a good word. The card represents fierce clarity, purposeful action, resolve, and resilience. When in dark, it talks about threats, savagery, abandoning missions and values. Woo. Now that's something interesting, because I bet some people from group 2 snuck and looked at group 3. And I feel like that because, And don't you go sneak and look at theirs, but no, you can. I'll just say, to not spoiler alert, a card that they had kind of gave the energy of being the light and darkness. And just imagine the light and darkness dealing with an environment that agitated them or made them pull out a sword. And then they abandoned whatever mission they was on and values they had to get on the level of something else that was in their way. That is a very common, simple situation that could unfold, and I've seen it happen. And I can't tell anyone what decision to make in that type of situation because I observed it, and honestly it could go either way. But that particular card said specifically to choose wisely. And right after saying that, you got 2 cups and a spirit card, okay, which is the golden egg. You got the seed, you got the golden egg. So you ain't the hay or the background, right? Harmony and balance may be necessary for you because you manifesting, you trying to ascend, you connected to celestial beings, higher sources, God, you Christ consciousness is in your heart, honey. Whatever you're into, it's like you got some other things going on. So understand that in situations which should give you lights at the end of tunnels, acceptance when things don't make sense, courage to change some shit that is adding up that you can do something about that. Your spirit card is the golden egg. Very beautiful card. Message at the center of the heart. So you have the center and you have this harmony here. Within the golden egg lives a precious sound. Deep within that sound resides a message. The message cannot be heard, nor the message discerned until we retreat from the noise of modern day life. The magical essence of the golden egg needs warmth, quiet, and time to unfold. No rushing, pushing, or grasping. Find a place of deep and restful ease, perhaps through your yoga or meditation. All right. If you do not yet have a meditative practice, take some time for introspection or contemplation. When the mind begins to settle and the breath is calm, ask the question that weighs heaviest on your heart. And this one said something about a question. That's interesting. Engaging with the energy of the golden egg is an advanced practice. It requires becoming intimate with our very essence and comfortable with vulnerability. When a feeling of tenderness or gratitude arises from deep within you, know that you are well on your way. I love that. That is so sweet. Okay. You're swell, it says. Like you are seeing an old friend that's been away for a long time. Listen to the message they've been waiting to tell you. Wow. Okay. And then look at that. You have the little baby in there. The baby could be the seed. And the seed grew on the moon. I don't know. But it's beautiful. I think of the child and the egg, and I think of source. I think of God. I think of the sun, right? Because in the tarot cards and in all the folklores, it's a childlike energy that is or formulated the seed of life itself. So then it is the seed of life. It duplicated it and we got a piece of it, but it created it type deal. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And I will give you a moment to sit with that. We'll get and gather. Okay, all of you. If you noticed, I put it in the comments, the different selections. And then I always try to give you guys a moment to meditate. Because I don't know when you have moments to meditate. So if you are going to frequent the pick of cards on Pisces TV, use headphones. If you don't have headphones, that's okay. But I will always try to give you guys a moment, even if it's 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, a moment to just sit with nothing for a second and chill. I also do guided meditations, and I have a meditation channel. It's not a sales pitch, they're free. I just got back on YouTube like weeks ago after a 2-year break, and I will start posting them again. And the ones that aren't posted on Pisces TV will be posted on one of my sister stations, and the channels that I own are on the homepage at Pisces TV, so you can always find them. Okay, and I'll give you a moment.